Hey guys, this is me and George, and he and I just had a little bit of time, and for a particular reason, this game we're about to look at was on my mind. Now I know he's seen it before, but it's a game that brings out certain principles really well. And there's a sister game that brings it out even, which I just went over with another guy. So anyway, here we are looking at this game because I want to. 7 Dawn, 6 Dawn playing. Aguilar has a special place in my heart. Okay. We're going to be looking at the Blackstones. Notice how the Blackstones are all kind of flat on top. This is I wouldn't do this too casually. And look at the difference. Black is not flat on top. Black's hold board and robust. Both are fine, but this is a slow, steady style. Same thing again. And the feeling is white's liking this. Like, I'm really making black flat on top. Now, black knows all this, and he's saying, no, I understand what you're saying, but I'm fine. I'm not behind, which I agree.
Can we take a quick look at the other Joseki? The other obvious Joseki in the top left?
This one?
Yeah, I guess that makes less sense, right? Because the top is relatively small.
Yeah, top smaller. So white made the appropriate choice here. Get on the left where all the big areas are. This one, though, doesn't quite make sense because the A group is on our mind. And anything that happens around A and let's call it B, and something is going to be happening around B. Either white's going to grow or black's going to invade it. In either case, the white stone would be better placed on the fourth line. So I question if this is, it's obviously a subtle difference. Approaches, builds. Now, we looked at the ABC earlier, and now we have all that with D, so it's gotten better than it would have been. So there's no problems there. And this is a little bit interesting that white is, what do you call it, choking up on the bat, where you take, yeah. One would think we want to defend A more and grow area B more. So up a line, even fourth line, might make sense. But still, everything's in order. There's just subtle differences. 3-3. And now we start a thing. Black's going to stay here until he's settled. Capture. Okay. Sente, Sente. White plays. Okay, is black settled? Well, first thing you notice, the guitar is not as clean as it looks because it's co. Well, black wants to live. He doesn't want to live assuming he wins co. That's not living. So black, there's an I. Is black settled? Well, is this Sente? Yeah. If black doesn't respond, it's co for the entire group. All makes sense so far, George?
Yes.
So coming out, hey, I lived. Yeah, but white's getting a serious outside move. And we got a little tiny move. So getting out makes more sense. And it's a standard pattern. White can't disconnect. Okay, so at the moment, black's fine and has Sente. We see white building a massively large moyo. And black says, I'll just take the corner. Thank you very much. Standard stuff. White grows. Is black settled? Well, A is a false I. At the moment, there's no I at B. So if white surrounds, black would have to live in Gote. So white's getting free stuff. So that's we see the point of the game, that black is staying here until he has a strong group. He's not saying, oh, I need to rush and get into the moyo. I'll live in Ko. No, get strong. Don't leave a weak group behind. Now it's settled without Ko. And we can start hassling white's group. Okay, so we're pretty sure this is going to be Sente. We lived in Sente. Yep, great, Sente. So we're seeing a lot of what we might call low black stones all over here, giving white a massive moyo. And black's doing fine, black's ahead. And it's a little hard to see that. It's just, this game points out, just be patient. Take care of business. Don't worry about what he has. So let's look at next move for black. It would certainly seem that the moyo is the deal. So we ask, how do we enter the moyo? One rule we know is to draw the line and play on it. That's one rule. And that's when there's, so to speak, nothing to work with. You just, there's the reduction. But then there's another one, which is A is a weak stone. It's a knight's move. So when we hit it, we have an over or under. So there's a tool, I like to call them tools, we can use. There's another tool around A. Awful lot of white stones there. Up here, less white stones, easier. We can use those later. George, does that all make sense?
Yes, and I guess also black is threatening to connect up that stone and build quite a large area in top.
Black can
right.
build his own large area, yeah. George is having dinner. Try not to disturb him too much.
I finished now. I finished.
Oh, finished. Run out, very safe run. Just for the heck of it, let's put some white stones here. Is this a valid run? No. Let's move them one over. Now is it valid? No. How come? There's no next move. What if we move them over? Is this a valid run? Yes. How come? There's the next move. That's kind of a rule that can be very helpful as to, can I run in that direction? Runs. Right? Run. Next move for black, he could really start doing some grand things. White starts the attack, tries to get some info. Now this gets interesting. Black has to be defending A. And he says this defends it because if you say Atari, my capture is Sente, and I get to come out. It's a short read and an easy read, but for me, it's always like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. That defends the other weakness. White does play here. Black does attack. And white tries to get out into the area. White needs to defend the A group. The capture, which is what black does, total threat to come on through, right? Which totally helps the black group because white's so weak. So the capture is defending the center, or rather helping. I just had a lesson, and the student says, I'm not sure I agree with that, because I was using the word defense. This move defends black center. But when we switched it to it clearly helps the center, yeah, next move, black's great. Then we get back to defense. Out. We get rid of comments from people. White secures points. Is that an attack? I think so. That black's getting strength and everything. Black defends because that's a knight's move. We can just cut it, which totally helps our group. Again, it's a threat to cut as we help our group. So black's picked up quite a number of points and secured his center without ever touching the moil, so to speak, never entering. This is regular stuff, regular stuff. And not a lot to see through here, just some regular old in-game stuff. There's a cute trick coming up. Atari, if save, Atari, save, kill. So Atari, white can't do much. So white plays. The point being that the A group is safe now, and the B stones are safe. That's a pretty big deal. And the game continues from there, and black wins by some relatively small amount. But seeing the moyo, and just casually, one step at a time, dealing with it, encourages me that I can be patient. I mean, I'm sure I would have played here. And I'm not sure that's a wrong move. It might even be a better move because we're looking at the gap and there's just an awful lot of space and we're just asking.
But doesn't it seem to be a rather risky move? Because if white plays, say, k6, and we can't live on the bottom, then we pretty much lose the game. Is that correct? It seems like all or nothing type move to me.
So if black dies, have we lost something? Yeah, because now this move is white has more counterplay because we can't live on the bottom anymore. So yeah, I would say so. But assuming anything is Sente, I think it's impossible for white to kill the center and stop black from doing anything. Now, I don't know. He didn't, black in the game didn't play this move. It's certainly, but this isn't a modern, this is after AI. I'm sorry, this is before AI. So I wouldn't be surprised if AI said, just make a contact, ask a question. We see Chris saying that all the time. Oh, I wanted to ask a question is all. He loves playing this kind of move. George, just for fun, let's try to think of a good white move here. What would you think?
K6. I mean, at least that's the move I'd be afraid of as black.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then?
I guess it has to be J3, as far as I can see.
Did you say J3?
Yeah.
Okay. And then? Now, for the viewers, it's a pattern, and you have to decide when to use it. Generally speaking, reduction, this is reducing white. This is not an invasion, this is a reduction. Reduction is usually bigger than invasion. That being said, there's plenty of times we need to invade. When you invade, the basic idea is if you can just play a move and you're fine in Gote, go ahead, find the move and you're fine because you just played it and you said you're fine. If not, and I don't see a place I can play here and be healthy, then play a free move. It's free because obviously white's going to play here. And you don't care about the stone. It's just asking a question. You play a free move, and then again, do I have a Gote? Nope. I'll play a free move. Where to now? I don't see how to live. I'll play another free move. Should I play it on this side? No, there's nothing to do on that side. There is something to do on this side. Okay, George? Hane?
I'm thinking about Hane, the other Hane, cutting, because that way we help to fix. Ah, you're going to play that
Yep.
side. Yeah.
And then?
Yeah.
Notice, viewers, that this is another asking move in the direction of where white's weak.
Yeah.
And then?
Mm,
All right.
I don't know. I'm already struggling at this point. Perhaps cut? Yeah, let's go with cut.
Oh, I like saving the stone. Let's save. Looks very nice.
Then I think we have to connect K5. Okay.
K5. Out. Ooh, that's exciting. Run?
Perhaps I would love it if there was some kind of center exchange we could do on the right, like a Q6 kind of move, but I don't think there's anything we can do.
You'll give me a coordinate. Notice it's not easy for white.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
And I haven't done anything other than just play moves that are free.
Okay, I guess let's go for the N7. On with the cutting stone.
Sure looks like black's just going to walk right out,
Yeah,
and white's going to have
it
a weak
does.
group on the bottom.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is such a good example. I mean, I seriously don't know, right? You need to ask AI, but this would be the logical starting point. Honey, I don't see next move. Ask. The right is where it's interesting. And here we might think about something very simple. Okay, but this looks like whatever happens, this is very valuable. So that might be the first hard move. And then it's just kind of straightforward. And white's still going to get, but white's got to defend, right? And then we get out, and now white has a weak group. So interesting stuff. Okay, I just wanted to go over that with George, and he wanted you guys to hear it. So there we are. Any other things?
Yeah, there's one other move that was later in the game. There was an interesting, what do you call the move? Clamp. On the top side. If you go forward like 20 moves or so. Keep going. Yeah, and go back a bit. So J16. This kind of move, this is something that just wouldn't come to my mind. Is there any advice you have to give us about how we could try to come up with these kinds of shapes that we're not accustomed to playing?
Yeah. Now, are we talking about white at the moment? This white move?
Yes.
Okay.
This kind of, or anytime we see, a shape or a pattern that we just don't usually play.
So for me, which isn't other people, I'm thinking to myself, my A group needs something. Seems pretty obvious. I can't get home immediately. I don't have okay, I'm defending the A situation. I don't even know what stones it's going to be yet. So I see A, I see a home at B, and I see a big gap. So I start organizing those together. I also see my C stone's about to get captured, and he has his own weakness. See so there's all these parts, right? So that's part one. See all the parts. Now he says, getting out, totally hurting the A, sacrifice the B, I'm getting out in Sente. Another option. Let's play this much more simply. He'll probably want to get out, and I'll do some living. Okay. This will probably work out. Okay. There's lots of things to do. It doesn't have to be his move. As long as you take into consideration, but this, what's that? I don't want to get out. I know I'm not alive yet, and I don't care. But that doesn't make sense. Something that takes advantage of these. Might be this. I'm going to attack your center so that you don't have time to hurt my top. That's reasonable. Black's not settled yet. And then what? I don't know. Maybe I ought to switch back to this real quick. Yeah. So I kind of like his move. Makes a lot of sense.
Cool. Thanks.
But your question is extremely important. You, me, viewers, what do you do? I don't know. The white player in this game, he too does not know. You plug in the information. Weak C, I want to help A, B's home, all the weaknesses. It's like, well, okay, let's go. You just have to piece it together and ask AI. You'll never be right. That's what AI tells you. You'll never be right. You're wrong again. Every time. literally for the rest of your life. Get used to it. Just try to play rationally. And then you get a little better and a little better. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you, viewers. That was it. Catch you all later.
Bye bye.